What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Del's Corner. Today we're going to be doing the review of Teenage Mutant... Oh wait, that's not the fucking poster I wanted. Hold on. Alright, let's try this again. Welcome back to... That's not it either. Okay, hold on. What is going on now? What is going on? We are back one more time. That's the poster that I wanted. I love this freaking poster that came out for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's really good. So today we're going to be doing the review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, giving you my thoughts, what I saw. This is going to be spoilers, just to let you all know, because I do not have time to break it up. Spoilers, first and foremost, please click away if you haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure you already have if you've already been here. So don't forget to check out all the additional social media down below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good magical jazz that you guys can end up doing. That way you can end up letting people know what my thoughts were on this specific franchise. There's a lot of things that I want to be able to go over, and there's also some explanations why I feel that this movie hits on so many different age groups. So let's get into that. Hope you guys enjoy your day. It is Sunday at the time of this specific recording, and I hope you guys enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as much as I have. Again, let's get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Alright, let's get into this review. Now, I'm going to try to do no cuts as I usually do. I'm going to try to do no edits as I usually do. And I'm going to try to speak to you guys as much as I can, because I'm really bad at looking away from the camera or whatever. You get it. YouTube shit. Anyways, just to let y'all know, this is all based on my opinion. This is all based on what I saw. This is everything that is based upon what was given to us prior. All the interviews. I pretty much watched everything when it came to Seth Rogen, Ice Cube, the four voice actors for the Turtles, all that good stuff. So I've tried to touch base on every single aspect of this. Now, when the movie begins, right off the bat, we're introduced with all the Turtles. Okay, you're not going to get any type of visuals here, so if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're waiting for, I would just put this phone down right now. You could just leave it running and just kind of listen to my voice. I don't know if I'm going to release this on Spotify yet. I started releasing a couple of things on Spotify. That's here nor there, but let's get into it one last time. So, of course, we're introduced to the Turtles. The Turtles are up top, the rooftop, where you guys have probably seen that trailer where they go, "Oh, Batman. Ooh, okay, Batman." That was really, really good. That's a really, really good introduction on the Turtles in general. Like, I really liked how they introduced them. The visuals were really good. A lot of people have been talking about how this is more similar to Spider-Verse. In my opinion, halfway at the beginning of the movie, yes, I sat there and I was like, you know what, people are right. It's kind of close to the Spider-Verse. But then when halfway through the film, when I actually looked at how they were doing the angles, how they were maneuvering everything, the animation, the way, the fluidity with the animation, it is not. It is not. And again, you can call me wrong all day. That's completely fine. But from what I saw, the details, the way that they ended up moving the camera, a specific angle, the way that they ended up taking this whole thing, it is not Spider-Verse like. The animation is close, but it is not. Okay, the animation on the Spider-Verse, there's actually delays in between each action to kind of give you that feel, that comic book type of feel that it usually gives you, while this one is just fluid throughout the whole way through. I haven't seen any type of breaks or anything. Keep in mind, I have watched the movie for the first time yesterday, and I had a blast. A blast. This is absolutely one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies I have seen in a very long time. Movies, shows, whatever you want to call it. I'm still very OG to the live action make of the movie. Okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, the very first one that came out that was live action. It was great, it was fantastic, it was gritty, it was dark, it was everything that we needed. They took a lot of the original comic, the very first printing, and implemented it into the actual movie itself. So that's why I feel that they actually stuck to the comic books, stuck to the source material, and flowed right through it. Okay, that's why I feel that is the best Turtle movie. Now this one is right up there. It's right up there. I mean, everything about the movie specifically was great. I love the interactions between them and Splinter. It actually felt like a family. Now, Splinter did go through the origin story, kind of explained how he ended up becoming who he was, and how the other brothers ended up becoming who they were as well. Okay. When Splinter got the ooze, he started transforming. He was not a human beforehand, so there's no originality there when it comes to the source material. He knew no martial arts, but he did know one thing, and that I had to take care of my sons. Like, he adopted them 100%. He had the instinct for it, and he said, I'm going to do this. And that's exactly what he did. He got the brothers together, he put them all together, and then again, they all transformed. Now, when Splinter transformed, it was kind of creepy. It went through this whole horrific sprouting of the arms and legs, and then when it panned out, it just showed him what you see in the actual trailers and stuff. So it was pretty horrific for a second, and then it just toned itself down. I can see where certain parts of this film can possibly scare some kids, but that would probably be anywhere 6 and under, or might be scared at certain aspects of it. But there's not a lot. There's maybe like 2 or 3 scenes where you're like, oh, that's kind of dark for a Turtles film, right? Seth Rogen has really created something, and his team has really created something that is special. When the Turtles started growing, his only option was like, how am I going to be able to make sure that they are safe, right? How am I going to make sure that they are safe out in the world if something were ever to happen to me, or if they need to fend off for themselves? How are they going to end up doing that? And the only real logical thing that he ended up was able to do, and that was watch martial arts movies. Sounds kind of ridiculous. Martial arts movies for him to become a master, and then pass down to his children, to make sure that they are fundamentally skilled to take care of themselves just in case. Okay, they attempted to go up to the world, and unfortunately it didn't work out, just like most of the comics end up representing. I really like how they just went up to the world and tried it. It didn't work out. The world wasn't ready, and unfortunately he had to go back down into the sewers down below, because they just weren't ready for these types of mutants. At that point in time, okay, it sounds ridiculous, right? It is a different take. Him watching videos to kind of master martial arts. It sounds ridiculous, but it does take place in the 80s, which I really liked. I really liked how it did take place in the 80s, because the televisions that they were using, the movies that they were watching, it was all topics or all films, martial arts films, that were severely popular in the United States at that time frame. It was great. I was like, okay, I'll accept this. I'll take it. Okay, I'm not going to be too picky with the origin story, because the only thing that really matters is what? The Turtles. So that's all that should really matter at this point in time. So anyways, they learn martial arts, they stay down below, and they want to be a part of the world. Just like some of the current comics, they want to be a part of the world. They want to be a part of what's up above our world. So they end up getting into a situation where they have to reveal themselves. And when they revealed themselves, it was to April O'Neil. Now, we all know that April O'Neil is, and I don't know why people are talking about it. I'm sorry. Again, when it comes to side characters, April O'Neil is a side character. Splinter is technically a side character. He's just dad. Casey Jones has always been a side character. I don't care about the side characters, okay? Change them all you want. People are still complaining that she's black. I don't know why. I don't get it. Whatever. She played a really good April O'Neil. The voice actor, I have not memorized these voice actors, and I'm just being honest with you guys. I have not memorized these voice actors. As time goes on, hopefully I do, because we do have a sequel in the making. We'll talk about that later. And we have two more television shows, and all of them are implemented in some type of way into this universe. So April O'Neil was great. Fan-fucking-tastic. I loved the relationship that she had with the Turtles. I like their introduction. I like how they ended up just taking a step out of their comfort zone. Because prior to meeting her, the voice actors have such good chemistry. on interacting with each other when it comes to this film. I mean, the voiceover work, like nowadays, a lot of the times, right? A lot of the times you have one person doing a voiceover, and then you have another, and if they need to cross paths, like in communication wise, they would just pretty much dub them over, right? So you got two voices and then they dub them over. That's not the case with this film. It's been a very long time since, in my opinion, since the 2007 animated cartoon, where actors or voice actors at this stature have been in the same booth interacting at the same time to make it so fluid and professional when it comes out on screen. Their interaction with each other was literally overlapping. So if one said one thing, the other one said another. Like literally teenagers. They're teenagers, right? They're teenagers voicing the characters, but they were able to make it feel like best friends every time they communicated. So if one said one thing, the other one would say another thing, and then the other one say the other, and then the other, and then the other, and then it's like, shut up! Like you hear a bunch of teenagers talk, and you're like, oh my god, there's so much going on. That's why I was like, hold on, shut up! I can't hear what each one of you are saying. But that's what made it feel more authentic. They really took the time to make these four kids best friends. That way, their personality on screen would be perfect. Perfect for these characters. Again, nobody has ever voice acted a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle before when they're teenagers. So this aspect has always been talked about since the day that it ended up coming out, since the day that they ended up announcing who was going to voice their. So it's really good to see this on screen. But going back to April O'Neil, right? So the April O'Neil goes in there. They got a plan. Superfly, Ice Cube. Think of the Spot. Okay, let's go back to Spider-Verse. Think of the Spot. Who the fuck is the Spot, right? No, that's not what you got. The Spot turned out to be one of the most hardcore villains I have ever seen in an animated Marvel film. Great execution. But we're not here to talk about that. But we are going to talk about the Superfly by Ice Cube. So Baxter Stockman ended up creating Superfly. OG fans are like, why is Baxter Stockman and Superfly separate? Because they're supposed to be the same, right? It's kind of funny that I talk about it because I was literally going to put this up yesterday. This is Superfly. What does it say? Baxter Stockman. Little sneak freak. Anyways, everybody's like, why? And I'm even wondering why. But it worked, okay? It worked. I got it. I think they were originally gonna make them one and the same, but it is what it is, right? Side character again, Baxter Stockman, not too concerned. He has been a main character a couple of times, created some some pretty critical moments with the Turtles, but still side. Came in every now and then, whatever. Excuse me. But Ice Cube as Superfly killed it. From the time that he came on screen, I was like, yeah, this is him. This is exactly what we freaking need. We needed this character. And then you had all the other ones. You had Genghis Frog, you had Wingnut, you had Bebop, Rocksteady, you had Mondo Gecko for Paul Rudd. Now I remember him because Marvel Avengers, right? Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, he's the one that's creating it. John Cena, okay, he's a big time actor now. Like some of these characters you see and you're like, okay, cool. Paul Rudd, he didn't steal the show, but man, he added to it. It was so dope. So dope. If you're looking for a favorite character, you were walking out of there talking about Mondo Gecko. I'm telling you, so good. Anyways, so they meet Superfly. They become friends for a little bit. They become cousins, right? Because they came from the same ooze. And it turns out Superfly wants to kill all humans. He said, nah, screw it. We don't need them. Let us be the top of the species. So they decide to create basically a bomb that's going to be able to explode over New York. It sounds kind of familiar from certain aspects, right? And that is supposed to, instead of humans changing into mutants, every animal species that comes in contact with that mutagen is supposed to mutate, which then they take over the world. So then the mutants become the dominant species. Mutant Mayhem. That's where that title comes from. And now that I saw the movie, now I get it. I get it. It is mayhem the whole time. As soon as Ice Cube comes into play, that movie takes off. Like, it just non-stop. Now, I was watching some YouTubers, on some reviewers, some if you see anything that is trash talking this movie, that's their opinion. Keep that in mind. Okay, don't take it too critical. There is one video that I did see that got, I think, over 100,000 views already, which I'm a little bit concerned about. And it sounded like they never saw the movie. There was always, so the comment that was made in that YouTube video was that the turtles hardly even used their weapons. Maybe like twice. His words, not mine. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is. All right? They use their weapons all the time. I don't know what movie he saw. Did he go back and see Secret of the Ooze? Because they didn't use their weapons there. They used combat cold cuts the whole time. You guys got that if you know exactly what I'm talking about. But they used combat cold cuts the whole time. You know, they hardly use their weapons in 2. Unfortunately, if you don't believe me, go back, rewatch it. If it doesn't, it's gonna click once you watch it. You're gonna be like, wow, they really didn't use their weapons. But in this one, they use their weapons all the time. What are you talking about? I mean, that's the whole point of them having weapons. There was even a couple moments where I think Splinter killed a couple people. I know he killed one because I don't think they're robots, but I could be wrong. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like, if they're Utroms, he didn't kill anybody, but he took this sword, jumped up and jammed it in his face straight through. When you watch it, you'll see it and you'll be like, what the fuck? But it questioned me for a little bit, and it would make sense at the time that Splinter did that, because he was talking about how he does not like humans either. Splinter is more this person who's like, don't go to the humans, they're bad, they're gonna try to kill you. Like, he's very anti-human. It's 2023. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so they go on this journey, they go on this thing, and then they get to this point where we gotta stop them, right? We gotta stop them. And they go through some fights, they go through some trials, some challenges. April's there. April's like trying to be there for them as much as she can, but she can't fight. She can't do any of that, right? So she can't really help as much as she wants to. But the turtles, man, the turtles, I have seen the turtles go through a lot, and they went through a lot. Okay. Superfly, we're gonna fast forward because I don't want you to miss all the extra stuff. Look, there's a lot of callbacks. There's a lot of callbacks. Let's talk about the callbacks, okay? Because I can go on for hours and hours on this film, but I'm gonna try to give you everything that's most important. That way you can end up being hyped about this film. The callbacks. The grittiness of it reminds me of Turtle 1. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a live action movie. The grittiness of it, for sure. The darkness, the dark tone, great, perfect. I got Turtles 1, 2007. At some point in time, it started feeling like a 2007 animated film, which I really loved. I mean, again, dark again, but a lot of action, a lot of communication, a lot of choreography going on when it comes to these fights. It's great. It's really good. So there was a callback to that. There was a callback to 2007. There was a callback to Secret of the Ooze. Ninja, ninja, rap, ninja, ninja, rap. Yeah, you get to hear that for a good 2 or 3 seconds in a specific scene, and you're like, what? What are you doing? What's going on here? I got way too hype about it. I was like, there's no way. So you got 2, okay? So you got 3 movies already kind of back to back. Callbacks. They do, okay, so in the trailer, there's a little bit of a letdown. In the trailer, they go into this van, they jump up in the trailer, you know what I'm talking about, and they go, Cowabunga! No, I don't know why they cut that out. I don't know if it was meant to be cut out, but in that scene, they do say it, but it's not they, it's Mikey. Mikey says it, he says Cowabunga in really, really slow motion. I'm not gonna tell you what happened. I think I am giving you spoilers, but at the same time, I'm not giving you the best parts that I feel would make you go, that's cool. There's just a whole lot that goes into this. They really, really did their research at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a whole. They did some comic book reading. They did some movie searches. I know that they're looking at forums. They're looking at everything that's going to be making this movie successful, and they did it. They freaking did it. And if you have been hesitant about watching another Turtles film, take some of the topics that I ended up giving you today and kind of just implement that, okay? Try to go in there. Get hype about this movie, because we haven't had any type of hype like this for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie since 2007. If you liked Rise, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. If you like Rise, you like Rise. I'm not a big fan of Rise. I think that's just a completely different, I'm just throwing it out there because I don't like Rise. So different. So different. Maybe one day we'll talk about how much I hate it. But anyways. So towards the end of the movie, I don't think it was kind of already going that way. So they want to be accepted by humans. Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you. So I'm gonna make it a little bit easier. That way we don't have to go through this whole rabbit hole. So they want to be accepted by humans. We already know this. They want to be loved and accepted by humans. You kind of already know where it's going, and then at the end of the film, that's where it goes. So they actually get adored by humans because April was able to clutch. You'll see what I'm talking about. April was able to do something, and at that point in time, they were accepted by the human race. It was very heartwarming. I was very moved. I don't know why I was moved by it. It was more, oh man, I was moved by it. Thinking about it now, it hurts here. It hurts here. It's like everything that they wanted to be able to try to do, everything that they worked hard for, they did it. They freaking did it. And they were able to be accepted. They were able to go to school. And their outfits that they're wearing are very similar to the current issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that's going on right now, where they in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Mighty Morphin. The Mighty Morphin, they turn into humans, okay? And their outfits and stuff are kind of similar to what I've seen in those comics. So when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, that's a callback to this up and new coming comic book. Now, I don't think they knew it came out at the time of this movie, but regardless, it came out, and it was really, I like the outfits, especially Donnie's. Okay, that's pretty much the movie. Pretty much. I can go on and on, but I'm not. Now, let me tell you some takeaways that I will remember always from this movie. The love that Splinter had for his sons. He tried and it's the parenting aspect. The parenting aspect in this film, it's like you have a teen. I connect with it so hard. Because I have a teenager, right? So I got a teenager. And as the parent, you're trying and trying to get your kids on the right path, and you continue to try and connect and help them and give them the tools that they need to be able to be successful in life, and yet they keep not disobeying, but they keep going down, they keep making decisions that put them in horrible positions that they don't want to be in, that they don't want to feel. Like I mess with that so hardcore. Like, I'm currently going through that, and I could touch base on that all day, and it's so tough. So I was able to connect with that so much. The relationship that the brothers have with each other, you know, there's always been this disconnect between Mikey and Donnie and Raph and Leo. Always. Raph and Leo always kind of fight with each other, right? They're always kind of button heads. And then Mikey and Donnie are always kind of watching, but they're the brothers that don't like to get involved. They're not in like the big conversations or anything like that, right? This one was different because all four of them were going through the exact same thing. So there was really no disconnect. It felt like a brotherly connection. If I'm going through it, we're going through it type aspect. That's the way that I ended up taking it. I gotta fix this a couple of times. Sorry about that. It was very loving, moving. Again, the connection was there. They did everything that they could to make sure that their chemistry was on point during the film. GNC if you want to know. It felt like a family. All that talk about turtles and them loving each other, it was really shown in this movie. It was really shown in this movie. This is one of my favorite turtle movies. I'm glad. I want to explain this as far as how it hits on all age groups real quick, so you know where I'm coming from. So from a toddler's aspect, bright colors everywhere. Oh, cartoons. Okay. That's how they're going to be able to connect to that in the movie theaters. Teenagers. Because the voice actors are teenagers, they implement certain words into the film that current teenagers are using. Like Riz. There's a lot of Riz going on in that film. But I didn't get it. I didn't find it annoying. It's not like they overplayed it. Like, oh, you don't have any Riz. Like, it was very comical, sorry. But my daughter loved it. She loved it, and she saw it with her cousin as well. They both were like, oh my god, it was so good. Like, because they were using certain words that they use on a day-to-day, you can tell that they connected with those characters even more. Okay. Now, from an adult aspect, like my age, I grew up with the... Do you want to... I grew up with the turtles. I grew up with the turtles, and it took me a while to realize what I wanted to collect for the rest of my life, or at least what I wanted to collect a part of my life. And I found my calling. I really looked into who I was as an individual, what I grew up in, and it was turtles. Turtles was the biggest thing that had ever happened to me. I first got into turtles with Secret of the Ooze, and then later on my mother was able to at least watch the first, get me to watch the first film. And then from there on, I've always had some type of connection with the turtles. I didn't get deep into it until about 4 or 5 years ago. So hardcore turtles, 4 or 5 years ago. Okay. Low-key turtles, like just on the radar, all my life. Period. Always had some type of connection with them. my favorite is Mikey, just like pretty much everybody else. Not of this film, just in general. Mikey in general. But from an adult aspect, a retro movie. Like, oh, it's the Turtles. It's the why shouldn't I go see it? It's the Turtles, it's hype. Seth Rogen's involved, Ice Cube is involved. All these people that I grew up with are involved in this film. Go. The music, oh my god, takes it back to the 80s hip hop, 80s, 90s, early 90s, okay? But more 80s hip hop. It was great. And all the music just fell in line with the whole movie. All the music fell in line with the whole movie. It was awesome. No diggity. Yeah, good stuff. Or Can I Kick It? That was at the very, very end of the film. I don't remember it in the middle, but that song is there. Now we also have mid credits. Okay, let me backtrack. I'm sorry, I didn't get to finish my thought. It hits even older than that, like my mom's age. Okay, I'm not gonna say my mom's age because that's just fucking rude on YouTube, right? But my mom, let's just take my mom as an example, okay? And my father, and my cousins, and you know, anybody who's older than me, they were able to connect with it because of the music and because certain things that were said during the film. And if you've taken your now adult child to the film when they were younger, you get to relive that moment all over again by watching your kid and their kids. What? Ooh, God, man. I'm an emotional dude. Oh, dude. Ooh, that hurt. Man, that was deep. That was deep. Okay. Family's a lot to me, man. Family's a lot to me. And the Turtles have always connected with me on that because of the family aspect. They've always been a family through every iteration that has come. It doesn't matter if it was the 2014 Michael Bay ones. I know he didn't make the film, but you get what I'm saying. It didn't matter if it was the cartoon. It didn't matter if it was a comic. The family aspect is always there. And they have really been able to do that with this film. This is a family film. It's not just meant for kids. It's not just meant for teenagers. It's not just meant for adults. It's meant for those who have a family. Or it's just meant for those who like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like I do. Anyways, so the very end, let's go to the mid-credit. I got a little bit deep there. Okay? Just a little. Bruh. But I'm gonna wrap this up with the mid-credits. The mid-credits as a whole. I waited. I saw it. I knew it was coming. I called it last year. I told myself it's Superfly. When they announced Superfly, I was like, okay, it's not Shredder. I told everybody, I have video proof on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I called it where it was not going to be Shredder, and I told myself that they're probably going to hold out until the next film. Now, that was before I knew what I know now with Splinter. Splinter has no connection with the Rokusaki in this film because he was just a rat that did not know martial arts. So if you really think about it, the next film is going to be very interesting. But anyways, Utrom, Miss Utrom, I forgot the first name, but I think it's Pamela. I could be wrong. But Miss Utrom, which we all know is it's coming, okay? Either way, you know what, if you're a Turtles fan, you know where I'm going this. When you hear Utrom, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Either way, towards the end of the film, they realize the Turtles are a problem. We need to get rid of them. Utrom said, then maybe I believe she said maybe we should hire him or we need to call him. It then changes to New York City, pans out, and at the very end of it panning out to New York, half of Shredder's body, upper torso, so we're probably looking straight down, up on out, was Shredder. In all of his fucking glory. And he, for a brief instant, looked bad ass. I mean, completely looked decked out. It looked the way that it was animated, it looked very similar to Mutant the Mutant game, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant something New York. Oh god. I can't remember. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle PS4 game where they had Shredder. Anyways, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that title. Mutants in Manhattan. Yes? No. Yes. Mutants in Manhattan. Yes. I'm probably wrong. Anyways, so that style looked exactly like that. And so did his helmet a little bit too. So I was like, okay, this might be a little bit of a different take. But then thinking about it now, looking back on that final scene, Splinter has nothing to do with the foot or Rokusaki, which means if she's calling the Shredder, he must be some type of an assassin, which would make sense because he does run the foot. But in this case, he would be like more like a Ra's al Ghul, like a Ra's al Ghul, okay? Where you call them and then they come out, they do their business, and then they deck out. And I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna call out, hey Shredder, I need XYZ taken care of. He's gonna send some guys. Those Foot Clan members are gonna end up losing, and then at that point in time, he gets aware this is more of a bigger problem, that let me handle this myself. This was a Thanos moment. I guess I gotta do it myself, or whatever the hell he says. I think that's what's gonna happen. And I also think, because we have Bebop and Rocksteady that are now friends now by the end of the film, okay? Everybody's a friend now. Because I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but everybody's a friend now. And I think Bebop and Rocksteady will be influenced to join Shredder's side. I think that's what's gonna happen. And then we go on, whatever the title's gonna be called. Okay? Now I'm gonna give you my overall score, or at least my thoughts on my score, out of 10. And I'm looking at let me think. Give me a second. Give me a second. Ninja, rap, ninja, rap. A 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. That's my official rating. That's my official rating of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Has everything that we need. It has the plot, it has the characters, the voice actors, the communication, the animation style, and it's been so successful that prior to the official movie release, keeping y'all updated, you guys, there's already a sequel in place. Clearly we already know this, right? Because there's Shredder at the end, and there's two seasons of television shows already being played in the works based off of these characters, that is supposed to follow the story of all four brothers that will lead up to the second movie. Stop waiting. Go see this movie. Man, I think it's all out of my system now. It was such a great movie. Such a great movie. And if anybody tells you otherwise, you tell them to go suck an egg. Okay? You tell them that they don't have enough riz. No, I'm never saying that again. If I do say it, it's probably going to be a movie reference, but I'm never saying that again. I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Thank you for joining. If you made it all, believe it or not, if you were not paying attention, if you made it all 38 minutes, close to 40 minutes, I applaud you. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And as always, cowabunga, guys.
Cowabunga!